What if everything you believed about the soul, the afterlife, and divine entities was simply not true? Imagine a philosophy so grounded, it insists that only what meets the eye exists. Welcome to the radical and provocative world of Charvaka philosophy, an ancient Indian school of thought that challenges the very fabric of spiritual and metaphysical ideologies. Dive deep into the heart of Charvaka, often known as Lokayata, which literally translates to worldly in Sanskrit. This philosophy presents a stark, materialistic, and skeptical worldview, fundamentally asserting that perception through the senses is the only source of knowledge. According to Charvaka, if you cannot perceive it through your senses, it simply does not exist. This bold assertion leads to another cornerstone of Charvaka philosophy, the denial of an afterlife. Charvakas argue vehemently against the existence of an other world, making the point that no one has ever returned from the dead to validate such claims. This skepticism extends to the rejection of the concept of reincarnation and karma, ideas that are deeply ingrained in many other Indian philosophies and religions. Furthermore, Charvaka philosophy dismisses the authority of the Vedas, which are highly revered in other Indian traditions. For Charvakas, the Vedas are not divinely inspired but are merely composed by humans, and thus, they are fallible and fraught with inconsistencies. This radical departure from traditional religious dogma places a strong emphasis on empirical evidence and rational thought. Ethics in Charvaka philosophy is straightforward and hedonistic. It suggests that pleasure is the only intrinsic good and that one should aim to maximize pleasure in this life. This perspective is often criticized for promoting selfishness and hedonism, but it also liberates individuals from the fear of divine retribution and the abstract complexities of metaphysical speculation. The impact of Charvaka philosophy on Indian thought cannot be overstated. It serves as a critical counterpoint to the dominant spiritual and ascetic traditions, offering a refreshing focus on the material and observable world. By doing so, it challenges individuals to think critically about the nature of knowledge and the sources from which they derive their truths. In conclusion, Charvaka philosophy contributes significantly to the diversity and richness of Indian philosophical thought. It questions the foundations of spiritualism and pushes the envelope on discussions about what is knowable. While it might not provide the comfort of believing in a higher power or an afterlife, it encourages a pragmatic approach to life centered on human experiences and observable realities. In a world where spiritual beliefs often overshadow empirical evidence, the teachings of Charvaka remain as relevant today as they were centuries ago, reminding us of the power of skepticism and the importance of questioning the status quo. Much like Western materialism, Charvaka philosophy centers on the idea that the material world is all there is and rejects the supernatural. Western materialism, with its roots tracing back to the Enlightenment period, emphasizes the material basis of reality and has been significantly shaped by philosophers such as Karl Marx, who viewed material conditions as the primary influence on societal structures and human experiences. The philosophy further developed with thinkers like Friedrich Engels and Ludwig Feuerbach, who expanded on how materialism interprets history and human consciousness. Both philosophies advocate that everything that exists can be explained through physical means, emphasizing the sensory experience as the primary source of knowledge. Western materialism, unlike Charvaka, which strictly adheres to direct observation and perceptual evidence, often integrates empirical investigations with metaphysical assumptions. This integration allows Western materialists to explore abstract concepts such as ethics, aesthetics, and existential queries, which, although not immediately observable, are considered crucial to the comprehension of human life. Moreover, theoretical sciences and philosophical speculations are recognized by Western materialists for their utility in expanding understanding beyond immediate observations. However, Charvaka goes a step further by strictly adhering to direct observation and perceptual evidence, thereby discarding any theories or speculation that involve inference or the non-observable. Unlike Western materialists, who may recognize the utility of theoretical sciences and philosophical speculations in expanding understanding beyond immediate observations, Charvaka philosophy strictly confines itself to what can be perceived directly. This highlights a fundamental divergence in their adherence to empiricism. While both philosophies deny the supernatural, Western materialists are typically more open to philosophical debates and theoretical frameworks, whereas Charvaka's approach is uncompromising in its empirical rigor, emphasizing practical outcomes and observable realities over abstract theorizing. Thus, the approaches of Charvaka and Western materialism, while similar in their materialistic outlook, differ significantly in their scope and application of empirical and philosophical methods.